This bill is urgent, Mr Deputy President. Workers' compensation claims are being rorted. We have more than just a mountain of anecdotal evidence. The most compelling point to me the most compelling point supporting that workers' compensation is being rorted is that it is a trade union party, the Labor Party, which is telling us that. More than half of the members sitting here representing that trade union party were at one point union officials. As union officials, they would have spent a big chunk of their time in helping injured workers get compensation. Good. But they would have also seen abuse of a good system. People engineering claims. Oh, I'm so stressed. Give me a payout and I'll pay off my mortgage. They are manipulating the system. The word gets around. It's contagious. Someone gets a workers' compensation claim, then their cousin gets it 3 months later. They work out how to do it. That's what's happening. Now, I suspect that the Labor government isn't thrilled about this in their hearts. These are people who have dedicated their lives to workers' rights. But Labor has been mugged by fiscal reality and their heads have prevailed over their hearts. The current arrangement is costing New South Wales, the taxpayers, the small business owners, $5 million per day. Something is seriously wrong. Now, what other motive would Labor have to reform workers' compensation claims other than fiscal reality and urgent necessity? It's not a vote winner for them, is it? But they want to avoid the budget black hole that Labor in Victoria has sent that very important state to. And I've had elements of the trade union movement trying to lobby me to oppose the Labor Party. Gee, it's not good for them, but they're doing it. Now, we have known, because of reality, good. We have known for years that this was an escalating crisis. The Finance Minister in the previous government, also known as our Leader of the Opposition, he knew there was a crisis coming and he tried to tackle it and it was sent off to inquiry, not just one inquiry, 3 inquiries. One was chaired by the Honourable Natalie Ward in 2018, next was chaired by the Honourable Wes Fang in 2020, then Chris Rath in 2022 had a go. All good people, all trying, but meaningful reform of this nature never happened. It got bogged down in the inquiries. Maybe the Liberals are still spooked by Work Choices campaign in 2007 and lost their nerve. And what is the outcome? Workers' compensation premiums have hiked 26%, with more hikes to come without urgent reform, and that's why this amendment needs to pass. This is a reform that the previous Liberal government should have tackled. This is a reform that the Liberal opposition today should be enthusiastically supporting. In the 1980s, opposition leader John Howard hurt himself politically in the short term when he was supportive of many of the sound economic reforms of the Hawke government. And long term, that made the nation realise that on important economic reforms, John Howard put the nation before party, and he was rewarded electorally long term. I urge the Liberal Party to rediscover that bipartisan approach to sound policy. The Liberal Party was recently thumped in the federal election. Many critics, including myself, said that the thumping was caused by the Liberal Party losing touch with its founding principles, such as being a representative of small business owners. The Honourable Chris Rath recently spoke in this chamber and he said about that election thumping, he said, quote, "The people decided the Liberal Party lacked a vision and it was deeply conflicted as to what it actually stood for. We're meant to be the party of low taxes, but we opposed income tax cuts. We're meant to be the party of fiscal discipline and low spending, but we match or exceeded Labor in a Dutch auction of spending. We're meant to be the party of low debt, but we projected larger forward deficits than Labor. We're meant to be the party of minimal government intervention in the market, but we promised draconian regulations on business." And this is still Chris Rath talking. "Nobody knew what we stood for, and if they did, they knew it was illiberal. The path forward for our party is return to sound fiscal management and a bold economic reform agenda." Gee, well said, Chris Rath. Hopefully today can be a turning point for the Liberal Party and get back to what Mr Rath is urging it to do. Now, I am certain, Mr President, that there are endless small business owners across New South Wales who would be shocked to know that the Liberal Party is effectively in coalition with the trade union movement in wanting to keep compensation premiums high, or at least drag it out, make the crisis get worse. Another point that makes me pretty sure that the Labor Party is on the right track here is that 4 Liberal Party traditionally supporting peak bodies are in furious agreement with the Labor government. Can anyone here claim that Clubs New South Wales, the Australian Hotels Association, Restaurant and Catering and the Pharmacy Guild are shills for the Labor Party? Well, they represent a lot of small businesses. I don't think so. They represent endless small businesses, and they are enthusiastically and publicly supportive of these reforms. I'm generally supportive of inquiries, but reform is urgent, and I would prefer we voted on this today. But if we have to have an inquiry, then we can do it in 2.5 weeks. Where there is a will, there is a way, and I'm sure we can have a productive inquiry in this time. But the sooner this bill becomes law, the better. Does it go far enough? Of course not. The Libertarian Party does not believe the government should have any role in workers' compensation claims. It should be a matter of contract between employers and employees. But we are where we are, and this bill is a good start, and hopefully the Liberal Party can win the next election and then require Libertarian votes in this chamber to get stuff through the upper house. If they grew a spine, ditched left-wing talking points about supposed cruelty, and appointed the Honourable Chris Rath to be the Finance Minister, then yes, we'd have a significantly better workers' compensation package. But on this occasion, the Labor Party is taking a decent step in the right direction. So let's have an energetic and fruitful inquiry, and let's get it done by the 23rd of June. It is urgent. We need to end the workers' compensation rorts.